Alright, so more ways to help you out with your Muay Thai roundhouse kick for beginners, right? Now again, the objective of the roundhouse kick is so that you can land this nice hard shin on your opponent's nice soft thigh, their nice belly, their shoulder, or their head, or something on their body, right? Because again, this is a really big hard bone right over here, and big hard bone slamming on meat, that meat's gonna really hurt, alright? So again, most beginners, when they throw kicks, they're throwing upwards, boom, and they try to come out that way at an angle because they're trying to come around. But then they come upwards, mostly because they're not pivoting their leg, they're not turning their hips over, and they're not throwing their hip forward, right? And yep, and to practice having a really good point of contact, you have to understand the impact, the angle of your impact, right? And the angle of the impact where I'm going to deal the most damage on my kick, it's going to be when my hip is pointed right at my target. So it has to be turned from this way, it needs to be coming forward, and in order to do that, my front foot has to be facing at an angle, because that's what's going to allow me to turn my hip over, and my shin is going to be facing at you at the point of impact. So it's boom. So if you pause it right there, you'll see my shin is facing this way and is coming sideways, colliding at somebody's probably sides, right? So it's coming, it comes this way. Now, a really good way to practice turning your hips over, if you're not used to turning your hips over, it's a very awkward motion. A lot of people don't do it, right? So what you want to do is you want to grab a chair, a table, something that elevates your legs, right? And work with something that's going to work that you can do. This isn't about going high. This is just about elevating the leg to at the very minimum where your hip is. Now, for this drill, you're going to start facing the chair. This leg pointed forward, your toes pointed upwards, your hip pointed forwards, hands up, right? Now, what you're going to do on this drill is you're going to point, get up on your toes, you're going to turn over and drop back onto your heel. And while you do that, you're going to take your foot, this foot, and point it that way. So my toes go from pointing this way to that way, and go back. Go back again. Go back again. And go back again. So what this drill does, it helps me to take my shin and point it at my target, because if this was an actual kick, my opponent would be standing right here, and right now my shin is facing my opponent, the bone, the big hard bone that's going to deal the most damage. Boom. And you practice all the mechanics of your kick. Boom. You take your lead hand, swipe it back. You take your other hand, make sure it's at your head at all times. Boom. Boom. And you do that over and over again. And you do that for both sides. So again, toes facing upward, bottom foot facing forwards, hands up. Then you go up on your toes, back down to your heel. Turn your hip over. So make sure at the end, your shin is facing your opponent. Boom. 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 Over and over again. So if you're not used to turning your hips over, if you find that despite what you do on your seatbelt kicks and your sprint kicks, you're still coming upwards and you're impacting with the side of your shin, side of your leg, your calf, this is a very good drill that helps you develop that twisting motion. Because when you get good at that, how this translates to an actual kick is I can come up right here. Right now, both of my feet are pointed forwards. And then at the last second, I just go boom, and I just snap my hip into it. You can see, I'm not throwing my kick fast from down here. I can go slow, I can take my time, and at the last second, snap my hip and just cut across the bag with my shin. The power from your kick, it doesn't come from launching as fast as you can from here. The power from your kick comes from the way you snap your hips forward. I can go as slowly as I want. But you can see, at the very last second, I pivot my hip and I snap my hip forward. And at the same time, I just twist my knee right at the bag. And that allows me to really deal a very devastating blow against my opponent, as long as it lands. Alright, so if you learned something from this, like, share, and subscribe, and pass it on, and hopefully we can all grow together as Muay Thai fighters. Thank you.